Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm here today with Sean Fink. Sean is in our exhibition currently, and so welcome. Can you share just a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hi. So I am Sean Fink. I am a local Columbus artist, ravishing 38-year-old, full-figured artist. So enjoy, soak it in.
Love it. Thank you so much for chatting with us. I know we have several pieces of yours in our exhibition currently. Can you talk about what we have up on our walls right now?
Yeah, so it's kind of very sporadic. So I think talking with a lot of individuals, I don't really have a one vision like idea of what my paintings to say. I kind of just happened to think of something and that's what I put on the canvas or on paper or on wood. So it's really I don't have a one set kind of this is my idea. This is what I'm going to be going for. This is like my lane. I like to weave in and out of lanes all the time. So I have a very would appear you probably couldn't tell that all of the paintings were made by the same person, which I enjoy because that's literally what my brain feels like on a daily basis. It's like a clustered mess of just things in there. So I enjoy. So I take that as a compliment. I'm like, well, good. You might not know that, but you enjoy it, so I'll take it.
That's fantastic. Yes, it's your pieces, especially the one with the dots on it. That one just really kind of calls me in. And I walked through the exhibition with my daughter actually, and she was really just enamored with the colors and the vibrancy of those pieces, especially.
Oh, that means a lot. I think that's awesome that she really enjoyed that piece. I really enjoy doing bright colors. There's nothing about me as an individual that's mild or coy. Like I'm a very outspoken, um, I feel straightforward individual. And I like to do that in my paint. Like I don't think you should hide anything. So, I like when you can see all the color. I like when you can see the under, like you don't have to everything doesn't have to be so finished to speak to you. I like seeing the strokes. I like seeing what's underneath something through something else. I don't think I'm by no means a Rembrandt, and I don't ever plan to be that. I'm never going to be that brilliant creating realism. But what I can do is be fantastic at creating abstract art and giving my point of view to it. So whenever someone, even like someone as young as your daughter, which I think that's great that children have the experience of enjoying art as well and can kind of like speak about it. I think that's amazing. But as long as my art is speaking to someone and they enjoy it and they like what they see, then that's all I can do. That's all I really ask for.
That's fantastic. Well, yes, I think, it kind of takes me into the thought of what are you finding uplifting right now? But the colors really speak to folks as they walk through, I think, of giving those glimpses of joy and inspiration when they look at your pieces because they have that vibrancy and it feels positive to look at your pieces. So, I'm curious, do you have anything that you want to share about what you found uplifting currently or recently? This has been hard times, but especially for artists, but what's inspiring you right now?
Hard times, I don't know what you're speaking about. I mean, we're not coming off of the cusp of racial injustice. Like we're not still in the middle of a pandemic. We're not still dealing with white supremacy and the lacking leadership of the previous presidency. Like there's just it feels like a Mack truck just like hit the US like in like in literally like months. Like and I was like, man. And so, I only speaking for myself, like it just felt like a lot. And so I can only imagine how it feels to be someone who is black or brown or Asian in this country and you have what I have compacted into your life, but then you add on top of it the color of your skin and the difference that you experience just by being that color other than white. So I mean, it feels like a lot, but I can only imagine. So I hate even, um, kind of speaking about it because I don't want to minimize anyone else's experience. And I think there are people that have it that are going through things way worse than I am. So I am just grateful to still be here, alive, celebrating um, life in general, being with my friends, and being able to express myself through my art. I really don't have long stories of like, oh, I was sitting by this, bubbling brook and something just, floated down, and that's not really me. I just literally think of something and I put it on paper. So I really don't have this elaborate, drawn out idea of where something came from. I'm just like, if you like it, like this is me. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But if it speaks to you, then good. If it doesn't, then good. It's fine. Someone It will speak to somebody, and someone will enjoy it. And art is very you know subjective. We can look at something that's incredibly done and someone will be like, that might be the ugliest thing I've ever seen, and the person standing next to them might be like, that's actually the prettiest thing I've ever seen. Like, I enjoy that. So I really just paint for myself. I really don't paint for a lot of, like, for everyone, because you're never going to make everyone happy. So as long as you're doing what is true to you, then I think that will resonate with folks. So putting down all of this, like, frustration and having a release, listening, cranking up some Mariah Carey, or throwing a bottle of wine in a glass and like painting is like almost like free therapy. So I guess, does that answer the question?
Yes, that's great. Everybody go grab a bottle of wine and some Mariah Carey and paint.
Yes, or some Whitney, or some 90s pop, or
There
some
you
80s, whatever comes to mind.
go. I love it. That's fantastic. Well, what inspired you then? I feel like I got a glimpse into it, but what inspired you to participate in creating the murals downtown? I very clearly see your touch on a mural, so I don't even need to ask you which one you worked on, but what inspired you to participate in that?
It was, I think a lot of people in my position, cisgendered white men, have a lot of learning to do. And as much as I want to say that I am, um, a an avid champion of diversity, I think you can still be a strong supporter, but you can still understand that there's a lot of learning to do within the space, and there's always going to be that learning, but you have to be willing to listen to the environment, to your friends, to the people around you, to understand what's necessary to change and to be better. So I'm always looking to be a better version of myself. Um, and I realized that I had some missing pieces to make that better. I thought I knew a lot, but I was like, I don't clearly know as much as I thought I knew. And that's okay if you don't know as much as you thought you knew, but acknowledging that and being able to move forward is a good thing to do. So I think, this in the past summer, physically seeing people of color murdered on TV, and no accountability being placed on those white individuals for doing the actions that they did. Just it was appalling, and to see so many people, even in Columbus, protesting and speaking out and coming together, really allowed me to get a whole different perspective than what I thought I knew. Sitting in a diversity office and thinking that you're doing the great work because you're doing these things. Like, I think I was doing a lot of actions just blindly.
Mhm.
So, really having the purpose behind it, I think really has helped. So, um, I was really inspired by seeing a lot of my friends who were never really involved in, would never go to a protest or a march, or kind of speak up or do something. Like, they were kind of understanding also enough is enough and they need to do better. And so I think seeing my friend group, um, rise to the challenge, seeing a lot of diversity in those marches, and people coming together from all different backgrounds, all different races, all different gender identities. Like, it felt good. And we're doing this all in the middle of a pandemic. Like, I mean, I don't do a whole lot during the pandemic, but I was willing to, I'm like, this means more than anything right now because we need to make sure that everyone is treated fairly and equal and has the same opportunity. And we don't have to worry, I don't have to worry about walking out of my door and getting stopped by the cops and getting shot. Like I don't have to worry about that. I just walk out my door and I never thought about it. I just like, oh, it's fine. I never put myself in that position to think that way. So I'm glad that the experience has opened my eyes a lot more. Um, but there's still so much, so much work to do. I mean, if we've seen anything from the January 6th insurrection to, nooses being hung on the Capitol grounds, Nazi flags, Confederate flags, there's just so much more work to be done. And I don't even know where the end point is. Like, it's sometimes hard to see the end point. Um, through amidst the chaos. But I think that as long as we all kind of do what we did this past summer and continue to learn and grow, come together, understand that we're all different, we don't have to be everyone's friend, but we have to be everyone's champion as a human being to have the same rights. Um, I think that then we can get to a better place. But like I'm so thankful for my black friends, like always it seems like the black community always does what's right. They're always there to champion for everyone, even back as far as Stonewall. Black trans women, were kind of leaders in that charge. So um, I think it's great to see white people kind of taking the opportunity to stand up and give some people a rest because they've been screaming and protesting, marching, whatever they need to do for decades, centuries. So it's about time that we stand up and give them a break because they deserve it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Thank you. Um, Also, I'm curious about what are some of your proudest moments? You know, you're such a champion for others. What is something that you're proud about with yourself, with your art, with your work, with things that you're involved in?
Yeah, well, I actually, I was involved in art as a young child and was in a lot of like contests and things like that, like statewide and county things, and did all those kind of. I really enjoyed the art medium of being able to express myself. Took a long break from it because I just kind of was focused on going to school, getting a job, like doing the adult things where I thought like I had to kind of give up the creative side of me. And it wasn't until I had a little bit of a minor accident, was kind of at home a few years ago, and was like sitting there, was like, I have nothing to do, I can't really go anywhere. And I decided to grab some canvases and paints, really inspired by my friend Brendan Spivey, who like literally, kind of used painting and his as his way of like dealing with everything, just dealing with being a man of color and in society, and had a lot of used it to get all of his feelings out. And so I saw him kind of taking that and using it in his own life, and I was like, you know what, like I can redo this again. I need to start doing this again. It was good, kind of therapy. So I went out and bought the paints, bought the brushes, got the canvases, and then just like sat at home and started getting back into my painting. And so um, using that as like a jumping off point to kind of continue doing this, like kind of did my own Instagram site for my art. I'm doing incredible things with like gallery spaces like Macon Art Center, um, Roy G. Biv Gallery. My friend Lynette Santoro, like she's really been inspirational and uplifting for me in this space. Giving me a space to showcase my art in shows there. To join the art committee for Roy G. Biv. And then I've had some great opportunities coming to me that I can't really talk about at the moment, but like just some great things coming. And and I would have never thought 3 years ago that this would be where I would be with my art. But it feels so good that people are kind of responding well to it and championing it, and so it just makes me feel good.
That's fantastic. You should celebrate. There's so many great things going, and Lynette's fantastic. That's a great place to be. So thank you so much for sharing. Um, and how can we support you too? You know, not everybody's ready to purchase a painting necessarily, but we're all really passionate about supporting artists, especially right now. How can we support you?
Yeah, well, thanks. I'm waiting for that stimulus check to come in because I'm gonna be spending that money in for local art. I feel like that's the way that I can do it. There are so many artists that I saw. I actually went to the Franklinton Fridays last weekend for the first time. I had never really been out anywhere like in
Yeah.
public, so we went there, and it was so great to see all of these diverse individuals creating their art and having it like you could literally just walk in anyone's studio and see it. It was so amazing. Jealous that I would kind of want a space there, but I can't really afford that. So, but I can't do that. But if you can't, afford to buy anything, um, I think just acknowledging that people are here and sending people to my Instagram site at virtuoso_galleries or and just like driving traffic. The more I think just having people see it and and like it is good for me. I really don't do it to make a lot of money. I really just do it for a release for myself and to hopefully make someone's day better. And they're like, I love this, I want this. So that's just like the cherry on top of like the Sunday. Like I'm not doing it to generate wealth so I can dive off of my diving board like Scrooge McDuck into a pile of gold coins. Like, I'm really doing it because it feels good. And I love when someone else gets excited about something that I've put like myself into. So it's kind of like if they're like that, then they like me. I'm like, well, I'm like, they love me. They really love me.
That's fantastic. Well, yes, we do. We love having you here. Thank you so much for being a part of it. And everybody come check out his work here. And is there anything else that you want to share with patrons today?
No, I just think I would love to share wear your mask, stay safe, wash your hands. Let's get through this. Let's get through this. I know it feels like the end. It feels like the end is maybe coming so much closer than we thought. So we got this. Stick together. We'll get through it. Hopefully, maybe hopefully by this fall we'll be able to, you know, have some a little bit of normalcy again. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be around people. So so I just hope everyone just sticks with it.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. And everybody, come check out his work, or you can check it out online at our online gallery. And we will be chatting with Sean again soon. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks. It's been a pleasure.
Great.